Well, hey there, entrepreneurs, marketing heroes. And if you are a high achieving entrepreneur and you are looking to know and increase your sales, want to know kind of some of the tools that trigger people to either say yes or better yet, why they say no during the sales process, well, then you might want to listen in and start here because why your prospects buy is exponentially more important than how you are actually going about the sales process. Companies these days spend thousands of hours and millions of dollars annually teaching their people how to sell when instead what they really should be investing in is answering that only question that ever matters to the bottom line, and that's why your prospects buy. So, wouldn't it be amazing if you could crack the code of why other people buy in 90 seconds or less so you could get connected quickly and on a deeper level with your prospects, communicate clearly and effectively with them in any situation, and deliver memorable presentations that emphasize your core message? Well, if you said yes to any of those things, then you are absolutely in the right place today. I'm here with my good and longtime friend, Cindy Little. She is a mindset coach. She has scaled to amazing heights in her network marketing business, running $1 million team. And she is so great at what she does, in part by some of the really powerful and effective tools that she uses, right? So, Cindy, welcome to the show. I am so excited to deep dive into this a little bit more and learn these 4 keys to understanding why people buy and how we can use these to make sales faster, build those relationships, and communicate more effectively.
Well, thank you for having me on, Kim. It's awesome to be here today.
Yeah. So why don't you tell people, like, give us a little bit of background of, because I know all about you, but for if you're listening, by the way, whether you're listening live or on the replay, drop a comment of where you're watching from and who you are and what your business is, and maybe we can get some of your sales kind of struggles answered during this presentation. So, Cindy, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your background, how you got to be where you are today, and a little bit about this secret tool to unlock the mystery of why people buy.
Well, thank you. So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I started off as a gym owner and a personal trainer for many years. And as a personal trainer and a gym owner, you needed to be good with communicating with clients because you wouldn't have them very long if you weren't a good communicator. So communication wasn't an issue for me. However, I always like self growth. Many of you like self growth out there and want to learn more. Well, I'm one of those people. Just like Kim, we just keep reinventing ourselves with learning how to do a book, how to do a podcast, how to do a blog, how to do all of these things. And this was an extra tool in my tool belt to help my team grow better. I know how to sell, but not everybody is a good salesperson. And so I thought I would take the coaching and the training and then disperse it to my team. I have a team of close to 29,000 people. And although with network marketing, it's like a roller coaster. You can have like really high sales and good sales for a while, and then it can come crashing down. And what are you going to do to save and protect your relationships that you have, and how can you better them moving forward? And that's what the 4 code system works and does. And so not everybody's going to carry these 4 cards, these personality value cards, and say, hey, sort these cards out. What's most like you? What's least like you? But there is a 90-second personality test that you can take online and you get a report. And Kim's going to have that in the notes for later today or later after this call. But yeah, so that's a start. Knowing people, knowing your own personality is very important, and how you relate to other people, and then knowing other people's values and how to relate to them. Because when you can relate to people, you have better relationships, better communication, and a faster sale. Because people buy from people they know, like, and trust, right, Kim?
Absolutely. I love that. People definitely buy from people they know, like, and trust. And I mean, we've all heard of personality type tests. We've all heard of using strategies like NLP to shorten up the sales cycle and figure out how people think. But isn't it amazing how you've got this 90-second tool that literally can get into the mind of the person that you're talking to? So you can actually mirror what they are actually thinking in less than 90 seconds. I love that. I think it's so powerful. I shared with you in the green room before we got on the call. I was on a call last week with a potential prospect and client who literally said to me, "It's like you're reading my mind." And can you imagine if you were able to become a mind reader? Like it's like having a crystal ball in the form of four little cards that can actually help you identify who it is that you're talking to. So you can talk to them in their language, kind of
Yeah.
like the five love languages, right? Only for business.
Yeah, and you can get so good at speed coding people that before they even speak, you could identify, like if they pull up in a certain car, if they're carrying a certain handbag, depending on how they're dressed and what time they show up. Did they show up 20 minutes before, or did they show up late, or did they show up right on the hour? Those are clues, and there's lots of clues that people give to their personality values, and whether you're going to be able to do business with that kind of personality value, or if you can fluctuate and kind of go in between the codes. Like, so once you understand the codes, you can say, okay, that guy's late because he's an action person. He'll do as much as he can before he has to show up, and that's why he
Ooh.
shows up late oftentimes.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't we deep dive into that right now? Just well, I say deep dive, but in a quick and efficient way, about those four keys, like the four codes. So why don't you kind of break down those four codes for us?
Okay, so action is the type of people who like freedom, flexibility. They love attention. They love competition. They love winning. They're usually the loudest person in the room. They love red carpet VIP treatment. They love flying first class. They love driving sports cars. Their gas pedal is all the way down. They're at full throttle and they love action. So that's action. Then you have nurturing, and the nurturing people love relationships, authenticity, personal growth, teamwork, involvement. They're usually the people that do really well with network marketing because they like team and community and charity and harmony and things like that. And actually a lot of professions choose the professions because of their personality values. So
Mm.
when you talk about blueprint type of people, they're the people who love numbers, structure, systems, planning, processes, stability, responsibility, duty. So they could be policemen, that follow the rules. People who follow the rules are blueprint. Accountants, they have to follow the rules. They have structures and systems. So think of those, and teachers are blueprint people, typically. And then you have knowledge, and knowledge are the people that love science. They love technology, research and development. They're usually either doctors, scientists, high tech people. Like they love, like they like learning and intelligence, and so you can't really get all mushy with a knowledge person. And also there's a way to greet all of these four different personalities, and if you do it wrong, you could like shut them down. So don't
Yeah.
go, for instance, don't go hug a knowledge person right off the bat. For nurturing, they love hugs. That's how they greet people. They love hugs. And a
Yeah.
blueprint, hand them a business card. So it's funny when I hop on a plane, Kim. I know who I'm sitting with when they give me a business card, or
Okay.
the way that they greet me on a plane. So it's really fascinating once you understand the psychology of biology, and biology is BUY, why people buy.
Yeah, I love it. Why people buy the science behind it. So, because I feel like I'm kind of a, and I mean, you can probably speak to this as well, is that we're probably each of us not one specific part of that, one of those four things, right? We don't, everybody isn't put into one category and that's it. It's that you have a strong leading category and then the rest of them kind of fall behind, right? So,
Well, that's true. Now, if you're divergent and you're equal in all of them, that's actually where you want to be, especially if you're a salesperson. Being able to relate to all of the categories is where optimally everybody should be and wants to be. So imagine it when you were younger and you had a teacher, you either like them or you dislike them, and you like them and dislike them for whatever reason it was. Like the teacher that really paid close attention to you, and if you're an action person, they let you talk and brought you up in front of the class to perform and take a leadership role. You probably like that teacher a lot. Or if there's a teacher that made you be quiet the entire time and didn't recognize you for your efforts, then you probably didn't relate to that teacher. So this is really important for teachers as well.
I love that you can use this in so many aspects. Of course, we're talking about this in terms of entrepreneurship and growing a team and getting better at sales. But you're right; this could be just as effective for how you communicate with your children, or if you're a teacher, how you communicate with not only your colleagues but the kids in the classroom. So
Or
I feel like it's really just universal communication rules.
like even dating too, Kim. Like there's so many single people out there, and they're on these dating apps, and they're trying to find the perfect match. Well,
Yeah.
knowing your personality and figuring out other people's personalities will marry you up in a great relationship. If you well, you can, opposites can attract, but you need to be able to understand the opposite and deal with them in their values and understand their values.
Right. So so I love that. We can use it in all of these scenarios, but let's tie this back around to how this can improve you as an entrepreneur, whether you're trying to, let's talk about, because we could go on forever and ever, but
Yeah,
let's talk about it in with respect to how you can use this tool to actually build better relationships with your prospects and your leads, so you can more effectively lead them down the path to working with you, to becoming a client. Speak to
absolutely.
that.
Okay, so there is an AI attachment on LinkedIn that you can actually profile people before you even talk to them. So imagine if you knew the code of the people based off their LinkedIn profile, who you're talking to and reaching out to, especially if you're reaching out to cold market people and trying to get a relationship happening. So there's that. Also, when you communicate with them, there's a decoder where you can, like, kind of like a chat GBT for personality, specific personality coding, so that whatever email or message you send back to somebody, you can decode it before you send it back to make sure you're talking in their value system. So that speeds up the transient time of the sale.
Right. So somebody just asked on Facebook, what are a few tips to finding someone's values? How do you do that?
Well, there is a vault of information that you can access. So one is cracking your own code, because you get a 22-page report, and it tells you all about a blueprint, what they like, what they dislike, the tripwires of selling to a blueprint, what they like in a sale. So first off, crack your code, and then you'll get a 22-page report explaining the different codes. So that's step one.
So that's funny because I just popped this up. So wherever you're watching from right now, if you want to learn somebody else's code, like Cindy just talked about, the first step is to figuring out what is your code. So you
Yeah.
can kind of understand what your strengths are and your weaknesses are within your code, and then understand how you can crack somebody else's code. So I've dropped that into the link wherever you're watching. So if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube, you can drop down into the comments. You'll see the code right here. It's crackmycode.com / Cindy Little, and you'll be able to go and take that assessment for yourself in 90 seconds, see
Yeah.
how it works, and see if you think that this might be valuable for you to be able to crack other people's codes.
Another thing is, read this book, Why They Buy by Sherry Tree. She's the founder of Codebreaker Technologies, and that's the company that I partnered with for a tool in helping me in my sales and helping me with my sales team. It's an
I
amazing
love
book.
it.
Yeah, it explains all about the codes in that book as well.
Okay, cool. And, uh, I just love the idea that it's really all about, we talked about earlier, it really all is about these days building stronger relationships, right? Being able to communicate more effectively. And in the past couple of years, everybody's been so polarly opposite, right? I'm polarized on other sides of the fence. What if when it came to sales and everything else, we could draw nearer because we just have a better understanding of how somebody else's personality or buyers, the science behind their biology, is allowing us to be able to more effectively communicate with somebody. And when we build these stronger relationships and we build connection equals currency, right? It really is the code to getting people to know, like, and trust you faster and more effectively.
And actually, once you know the codes, there's actually two codes that you can sell to easily, and there's two codes that you cannot sell to easily. So if you want more information on that, certainly reach out to me on LinkedIn under Cindy Little, and Kim will have all the information in. But
Yeah,
it's great information, like, amazing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And for those of you watching, if you want to hear more from Cindy, she will be speaking on the Influential Entrepreneur Summit coming up in September. I know that's a little bit of a long way away, but Just wanted to put that out there now. And of course, you've got the link to be able to crack your own code, get in touch with Cindy. And if you want to learn how you could use this fabulous tool to shorten the sales cycle, build relationships, and increase your income and your impact, then I highly suggest that you take advantage of this special gift from Cindy and get cracking, figure out your code and figure out the codes of your buyers. Cindy, any last words of advice for somebody wanting to kind of use this as a tool to expand their business, grow their sales, their team, and improve their communication?
Well, it's definitely a tool you want to. It's a game changer in knowing the personality values and selling in the personality values of that person. It's not like talking at them like what you want. It's not about your agenda. It's about how they like to receive information and what's going to make them buy from you.
Absolutely.
Doesn't everybody want that? More sales, more wins.
More clients, more wins, more income,
More
influence, and
leads.
impact. I love it.
Bigger network equals more sales.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Cindy, for joining me today and sharing this super valuable information. I love your work. I mean, you are a legend in your business and your industry, and I love the fact that you're just wanting other people to have these same successes too, which means having better tools, having better marketing, building better teams. And here are all of the ways that you can do it. I'm so excited to have partners like Cindy who can come along and help expedite the process.
Yeah, and not everybody's going to be able to crack your code, so help them. Help
Yes.
people and help your people that you're working with.
I love it. I love it. So crack your code using that link. And Cindy, thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you watching live or on the replay, until next time, stay safe, stay strong, stay positive.
High five.